Good evening. How's it going tonight? So, a little while back I tied a fly um, using dog hair. And I called it the dog tail something or other. Anyway, so my cousin Audrey noted that I was talking about the dog hair tumbleweed, and she joked that I could do the same thing with cat hair. And so I asked my wife when she was cat sitting to grab some cat hair to use as dubbing. So I thought that I would go ahead and tie a fly using some cat hair. I'm going to call it the cat nymph. Nymph, not nip, not catnip. Anyway, so I'll turn this camera around and we'll get started. There we go. Okay. If you're wondering, my beagle is sleeping next to me and she is sneezing, kind of. All right, so we'll start with the typical. We'll layer on the hook with some thread. Using my old favorite Home Depot hook, Eagle Claw, the big blue pack. Just getting a layer on here. This hook is a very heavy hook, usually with a nymph, like what I'm tying right now. Usually you would add some weight to it, but I don't need to add any weight because this is a heavier hook. Maybe if it was a really fast current, I would want some more weight. I would also add a bead head on it to add some more weight as well. So my first thing I'm going to add is a tail. I'm going to use some bucktail, and I'm going to put it in the stacker. Just grab a little bit here. Take a pinch. I'm going to take off some of the shorter hairs out of this and that white one. Missed it. There it is. I don't want that in there. So I've got mostly brown hairs. I have a stacker here. I'm going to put these in the stacker. Just like that. I'm going to tap it. And then when I take it out, they are stacked. All right. So with my edges all together, I'll put this down here. I pinch, tighten it down, and tighten it down. Like that. A couple of turns. I'm going to run this up a little bit just to pack this down some. I'll go back. Get that where I want it. I'm going to trim off this extra. I see June's here from the Philippines. Hello, June. Hope everything is nice and dry over there. I know it's not. Hope everything's safe. All right, next step is adding in some tinsel. I'm going to use this to wrap around the body like that. Basically, I'm just getting this in place tying it in. And I'm going to go in and add my dubbing. Alright, now I've got bow wax. That's what I use for my dubbing wax. I'm going to put that on the string. Alright, and now here comes the star of the show. The cat hair. I've got this tuft of cat hair. This is quite a bit. Don't need that much right now. That'll probably do. So basically you just web it out. So it looks like it just came off your clothes. You put it to the string and you start to turn it until it starts to build up on your string. It might be a little bit heavy, but that's okay. So I'm going to wrap this around the hook and then I will cover it with that tinsel. Alright, so I start here. It's getting a little heavy. Pull that off. Okay, so that's the back part of it. Now, next step is to wrap the tinsel around. And I'm going to go backwards against the hair, but I want to make sure the gold part is sticking out. Right now it's not wanting to do that. There we go. No, it's still the silver side. Oh, maybe I'll just go this way. That's the way it wants to go. Let's just get a couple of turns here. That was my wife telling me she loves me before she goes to bed. And me responding back. Okay, so now my next step. So now I've got the tail, got the body here with some ribbing. Then I'm going to come in with part of turkey feather. And I'm going to come in right here. Put that on top of the hook. And make sure that doesn't cover up the eye of the hook here. Okay, what this is going to be is going to look like the wings trying to pop before they pop out. Now I'm going to come back with my dubbing again. I'm going to dub again all right here. So I'm going to go back to my wing casing where I tied it in, start my thread there, I'll wax the string again. Going to take my cat hair, Dub it on. And this part I want to be dubbed a little heavier than the other part. Big and heavy like that. I'm going to come to the front. I'm going to take my wing casing, come over the top, like that. A couple of turns. Cut this off. If I can pick up my scissors. There. Take several turns to create a head. Sometimes you can do a little beard on these two. I think I'll do that. Trying to clean up around that hook eye. Make some tight turns there. All right, do my half hitch. Couple of turns. Another half hitch. And then I'll finish the fly. Tie off. Through, pull it through a second time, and tighten it down. Break it off. Ooh. And I'll get a little nail polish for the head. Even put a little bit on the casing here. Okay, looks pretty cool. I can brush this back a little bit, make it fluff. Like that. Now when you throw it out, that fur will catch catch bubbles, and make it look like it's breathing underwater, whatnot. Okay. So typically a nymph would be like a pheasant tail or a hare's ear or a hare's mask. You would get the hair for the dubbing from like the face of a rabbit or from a pheasant tail. A lot of different ways to tie that. You can have a bead at the front to make it more flashy, different things. But this one I made from cat fur. So this was dubbing from a cat fur just for my cousin Audrey, just to show that yes, you can certainly tie flies with cat hair. This is bucktail from a white-tailed deer. This is cat hair. This is turkey feather over the top, and then bucktail again at the bottom for the beard, or what would be the legs. So this fly would be thrown into what would be like a riffle in the river where it's really rough, and you would throw it in and it would sink. It would drop in and sink to the bottom, kind of bounce along the bottom, or maybe float just a few inches off the bottom, and then it looks like an emerging bug that would turn into a mayfly eventually. So anyway, so there's my completed fly. Hope you enjoyed watching. June, I'm glad you're still on. Hope you're having a good time. And I'm gonna get ready for bed. Gotta get to work in the morning. Have a good night.